Hello everybody. Let's see, how we doing tonight? I'm about to jump on here. I hope you're enjoying the music, and I'll be here shortly with you. Just dial everybody in. Welcome, welcome. Check your coat, come on in the theater. Hello, everybody. How we doing? Good to see you all. I have been just getting dialed in here and monitoring some of the chat. Great to see everybody and see everybody checking in with each other. I love our community here, and I'm so proud to have you here tonight. Welcome. My name is David Snedeker. This is the IndoctriNATION. We are broadcasting, truth casting, to over 7 platforms now, and I welcome right now just 6. I have a 7th, but I'm not broadcasting to it right now. 2 YouTube, 3 Facebook, and 1 Twitch. We're up over close to 800 beautiful human beings here tonight. Great to be with you. This is the IndoctriNATION. We will be discussing today's events. I know there's not a lot going on news-wise, so it's difficult on this end because we got to make up a lot of stuff, just because nothing's happening out there. You know what I mean? It's a slow news day here in the IndoctriNATION studios. So what do we talk about? So come on in, check your code. If you're new here, please let us know. It would be wonderful to make your acquaintance and welcome you here. And thank you. I am feeling much better. I started feeling better, a little bit yesterday, but then really this morning. And so thank you all for your good wishes and your prayers. And I'm feeling better. I think it was a detox. I'll talk about that in a minute. But good to see you. How's the sound? Everybody good? Short show. I don't know how we're going to fit it all in. Yeah, we'll talk about Gina. We'll talk about Biden. So much to talk about. So let's get to it, shall we? Imagine all of our preconceived notions, our indoctrination, our unconscious bias, our ego, all the things that really don't serve us when we come into a situation where we could possibly learn something new. And we imagine checking that at the coat check. Imagine it as a big winter coat. You're coming into a beautiful, warm theater full of beautiful people. You will not be needing to defend yourself here this evening. You will not be needing to, protect yourself from others. This is a place where you are free to speak your mind, but we ask to show respect. Otherwise, we just we dump you out. We bounce you. Just like a party. This is my party, and I'll cry if I want to, and I'll also toss you out of here if you're being disrespectful to me or my guests. So, Brian, if your weed is in your coat, you better go grab it. You may need it tonight. So come on in, check all that. You can get it after the broadcast. Take your claim check. You can grab everything you need at the end of the broadcast when it's time to go home. And we are going to download some beautiful information here for you folks. So, full moon, lunar eclipse. Lisa, thank you for that. I was just outside looking at it. It's absolutely beautiful. And we got a lot going on, folks, and it's biblical, and no question that it is biblical, and we are in for quite the ride coming up. Okay, quite the ride. So so let's we'll get into Obama, we'll get into Biden, we'll get into all that tonight. I want to start with by saying I felt the love when I was down for the count this weekend. I appreciate that very, very much. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the support, and I appreciate, so much that we are supporting each other, right? And especially in this environment where we're finding it difficult to communicate. What I shared on Saturday night's show, where we have people in our lives that we're not able to speak to them like we can speak to each other here. And so I just wanted to, talk that we all have that situation. And there's a lot of loss that we're dealing with in our lives from people that we can't communicate with naturally. And we want to be in a place, we want to find a place where we can be ourselves. And I never want truth to come without compassion, because truth without compassion is cruelty. You're fat, you're slow, you're stupid, and I'm not saying any of those are truths, but I'm saying that somebody trying to express to you something that may help you, if there's no compassion in that truth, then it's not going to be well received, and it's also not going to be resonating at a level that we want to be resonating at when we communicate with others. So truth should always come with a dose of compassion. And I know sometimes it gets frustrating because sometimes we feel like we're talking to a wall. But that's why it's important to get a buy-in from the person we're talking to. Hey, would you mind if I shared something with you about the presidential election that I've noticed? And if they say, nah, I'm not really into that, I don't want to talk about it, then you won't waste your breath. But if they do say, yeah, sure, then you just say, well, what I've been noticing, doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Maybe you can help me make sense out of it, right? And then you can get into the litany of examples of this election and how this election just does not make any sense whatsoever. And how can the press, dictate who the winner is when it's not in the Constitution? It's not their job. It's not their, and so you can go into a litany of things that have happened in the election, and you can and share that with them and ask them what their thoughts are. And I promise you, if they're not awake, if they're not seeking information outside the mainstream media, then they're going to find that you're going to find that they don't know about the things you're telling them. And so then, instead of them going to mainstream media to discredit that which you're telling them, all you have to say is, listen, why would they block this stuff? Why would they not report on this information? Do you think they have a vested interest in taking out Donald Trump, who calls them fake news? Do you think that they have a vested interest in bringing Joe Biden in when, China has already bought him and China controls much of our politicians? Do you, and you can just ask questions. But at any rate, so I shared that the other night, and then I had kind of an episode, and I think it's a detox, and I wanted to share this real quick before we jump into things, is that I shared a product with you on Friday night called Purium. I had Stephanie and Rachel on, and they shared their story, and so I shared a little bit of information about that. And I got to tell you, Snedheads, I am blown away by your reaction, your trust and your faith in me that I'm doing this 30-day cleanse, and maybe it's something you might like to try. And I'm absolutely blown away. I became like this executive by yesterday on our Zoom call. We had 2 Zoom calls with people that wanted to learn more, and I'm going to ask Eric if he could replay that one that we had yesterday, maybe minus people's stories, just to kind of get into Rachel and Stephanie's stories, and then talk about it. But I meant to ask you that today. But I just wanted to thank you for your support, because that supports this broadcast, but it also supports you. Like I've always wanted to bring you solutions to the problems that we're talking about, and the problems we talked about were glyphosate poisoning in our body that causes ill health. And I have wheat issues when in actuality I believe it's glyphosate issues created by Monsanto. So this broadcast is not only going to be about the problems of the world, but it's going to be about the solutions to those problems. And Purium is the only product that I've found that is a solution to ridding glyphosate from your body. Okay? And so in saying that, I want to make sure that I get our one commercial in here quickly, and then we're going to go right into a phone call with Todd. But I wanted to show you this here, which is going to be, bear with me. Let me see. I'm going to transition. You see basically what I'm seeing on my screen, and this is what you're seeing here is I shop Purium, and they have a cyber sale that's going through tonight, and you can get the Biome Medic, buy one get one free, which is the thing that cleanses the glyphosate from your system. The Apothecary, which is the thing that helps you sleep and also just helps with so many things. You can look it up. You can get something for your pets, and you can get your fiber, and there's always like these buy one get one free things. And all you need to know is this this link that I'm dropping in the chat right now, and also you would be able to tell that that not just this site, but there's also a CBD product, and the CBD product I'll show you that website as well. And that's really what I wanted to say about that, because you are supporting this broadcast, and you would be also supporting your health, because this is pretty phenomenal. These are pretty phenomenal products here, folks, and we have done over almost 9,000 in sales just since Friday night, and so this is something that actually can help me, and I appreciate that, and it can help you. And the other one is, I thought I had CBD, but Stephanie, if you could, Stephanie Dawn, she's going to drop something here, and I believe she's listening, and you can, let's see, and Deanna, oh, so yeah, you mentioned there was going to be a way for us who can't afford it to still be a part of it. Well, here's what I wanted to mention about that, is that you're basically, what I'm looking to do is replace my meals. So we're doing a 30-day thing for my family, and I'm going to replace those meals, and I'm actually going to save money. And both Stephanie and Rachel talked about how they actually saved money. They actually saved money when they went on this product, because then you're not buying meals. So imagine your meals for 30 days, and you can add salads and things like that, but really this is going to sustain you. It's sustaining me, and I'm 6'9", 245 pounds, and I thought it was pretty healthy. I'm all organic. I drink really good water, and I get exercise once in a while, but I thought it was pretty healthy, but I had a little detox this weekend where I felt a little ill, because, as you know, when we cleanse our toxins from our body, on the way out the body, we feel the illness because the toxins are leaving us. So we're still going through our bloodstream, and so it's called a healing crisis or just a detox. And so that's what I was experiencing this morning. There was no headache. There was no symptoms outside of a detox, which I've done before. So I'm happy for that, and the product tastes great too, by the way. So I think you're going to really like the taste and how easy it is to use. And you can I'm going to type in, I don't know, I think Stephanie uses a different name, but Stephanie Dawn. And you can look her up on Facebook. And if you're not on Facebook, you can email me at davesned@gmail.com, or just go on by the product, and the code is Snedecation. The code is Snedecation. So that's what's going to get you your savings when you check out for the products. Okay, but thank you for that, guys. Again, you really jumped on it, and we're going to do it together. This isn't just selling products. We're going to do a weekly Zoom call, which we've already begun. And I also told you we were going to do a weekly Zoom call on the Healy, on the frequency machine. I had a conversation today, and we are going to set that up as well within, it should be by Saturday, because I'm going to borrow a machine so that I can use it with you when we do the first thing. All right, so look for that this Saturday on the Healy, and we're going to support you through that as well. And I'll have more information on that tomorrow. All right, guys, I want to have Todd can go ahead and call in, because there's so much to cover here. I really want to bounce a lot of things off of him, and we can jump right into this. And I look forward to this is gonna be a huge night together, folks. So thanks for putting up there with our thing again. That ends at midnight tonight. Those specials, buy one get one free, and these are really phenomenal organic products. So let's make ourselves healthier, shall we? Hello, Todd.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Snedheads.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. How about you? You feeling better?
About 1,000%, man.
Well, good. You know, you can't go for such a terrible living lifestyle that you had and
I know.
Healthy on it.
I know, right? I tell you, man. Hey, did Cindy buy the thing? Did she buy the Purium? I saw her name on it.
I don't know. She's been really running around a lot.
Okay.
Recently, so we've been kind of coming and going. So
okay, but I
hadn't heard.
All right, I'm getting you guys some if you haven't already, but we're going to. That's the other thing is if you guys want to do a business of sharing this information, we're also putting together a team, and this is how I want to be able to support our beautiful family here on the Indoctrination. Because there's definitely a really fantastic way we can do this by sharing it with all the Snedheads. Buddy, how's Cindy doing? She doing all right?
She has her good and bad days still. She's still dealing with the concussion.
Yeah.
I try to keep her up mentally, but sometimes she gets upset with herself because she still forgets things quicker than she normally did. So she's still battling.
Well, every buddy I talk to says it's a 6-month process, and I also talked to the Healy about getting you guys the Healy as well today. So, we got some troops on the way here to.
Well, you know, Dave, if I get too healthy too quick, I might go in the hospital if you got sick.
I know, right?
What happened to him? Oh. Trying to get healthy.
He went from Snickers bars to Purium, and it was just too much. It was too much of a jump. Too much of a jump.
Rest in peace, Todd.
Speaking of rest in peace, hopefully at least you'll have an ankle bracelet before you go down that far. Hopefully, you'll just sprain your foot.
Yeah, well. Haven't been hanging out at the falls lately playing with my dog, so the dog comes and the boot coming. I'm glad I don't have that.
Now, I'm sure it was just a sprained foot and it was just your basic boot, but why wouldn't they let the press film or be a part of him going to or from his orthopedic surgeon, I wonder?
Well, he's totally transparent, as we all know, in all of his feelings, and so he's carrying on that tradition.
Yep.
Plus, Dave, I don't think it's very easy to find a CGI. Oh, did I say that?
Yep.
They probably didn't have a green screen there to put him in front of and a teleprompter to tell him to talk about his leg injury.
Exactly. I just can't wait for him to start limping on the wrong foot. I
Well, I saw a picture of Kamala also yesterday, and she had a distinguished bump on her leg too.
oh, interesting.
So maybe they're going to get matching frequencies or something so they can govern together
Yeah, yeah,
in Joe's basement.
yeah. It's it's very interesting that I hope you have the. I don't know if did you send that to me. I know that Kellyanne's got a few choice picks up on her Facebook page. Did you send me anything on Kamala's pick?
I don't think I think it was just one of those where I was firing through all the information from the Sned heads and I saw it, giggled, and oh, I know where I found it. It was Travis.
Okay. All right.
I can look at Travis's and send it to you. That's where it was.
You know what? I could pull up Travis. He probably sent it to me as well. Let's see here.
I just communicated with him, and
Okay.
he's buried. I mean, there's a lot of info circulating.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh wow. Kellyanne is really sick, 102 fever, and her ex has 104 degrees. He has a COVID test at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and she's thinking a doctor visit for her too.
Boy.
I thought she had already had it before.
Yeah, you did. She didn't say that she was going to do a test, but she did. She did have COVID before, I believe.
Huh.
I think she's just trying to one up me because I went down. So it's like, come on, Kelly. Get original. Come on.
Battling for. There's only so much sympathy to go along. Go for the ride, you know.
Yeah. So, at any rate, Kellyanne, sorry to hear that. All the best to you and Phil. We'll send prayers your way, and I hope you're feeling better.
Hear that.
Yeah, she was giving me some tips along the way on nursing my my little situation too. So she knows how to take care of herself.
Hey, I sent Travis's information, the picture.
Oh, thank you, bud. Thank you, and thank you, Travis. Doing some great work, bud.
Yeah, he does.
Really appreciate you, Travis. And appreciate all you guys. You are sending some great stuff down through the path here, and we are, basically we are absolutely at the tip of the spear because of that. Todd, here's a little something that Eric put up. I wanted to show the little Project Runway thing.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Let me.
I actually posted that on my wall too.
Let me do that one. I'm going to switch screens here. That'll be a little easier for me here. Let me do that. Folks, we're at 304 on Facebook, 90 on the Twitch, 463 on the IndoctriNATION Facebook. That's really blowing up. Almost 500 on the other David Snedeker Facebook, 400 on YouTube, and 111 on YouTube. So we're up there, folks. Great numbers. Let me pull this up here, and let's get this dialed in so you can hear it, and also read what you see on the screen there as well. Let me make this a little bigger. Let me do that, and there you go.
COVID's luck. Would you mind putting your mask back on? Thank you.
I had not noticed COVID's detail, this 3D applique.
I mean, it just gets better. What do you guys think of this mask? It's sick. Brandon sent it.
So 4/4/2019, a little predictive programming, folks. Project Runway, and that was COVID with a K, wearing a mask. And so we're the conspiracy theorists, folks. Just make sure you understand this, that we are the whack jobs. Okay? Make no mistake about it. We are the whack jobs. We are the ones that need to get our heads examined for actually thinking outside the box and finding things like that and just saying to ourselves, what's that all about? And then doing it again and again and again, all the predictive programming to just see how long this has been in the works. So, yeah.
What's incredible about that, Dave, is somebody found that.
Right.
You know?
Well, I think a lot of this stuff is people remember, like, wait a minute, I remember something about a mask in fashion, back on Project Runway. And then they go back and it's like, oh my God, the guy's name's COVID. And, they flip out and they put it up and then it makes its way around the internet. What's so interesting, Todd, is that how much of this we would never, ever see. Think about if this happened 10 years ago. As early as 10 years ago, maybe even longer. But imagine if this happened 10 years ago and we weren't communicating like we are on the internet.
Right.
And it would be like we'd have just the mainstream media to tell us what was going on, and we'd actually be convinced that Joe Biden got 80 million votes because they'd be able to, show, his crowds. They'd be able to, manage his crowds. They'd be able to, but that's not the case. It's not the case. So none of this is flying. None of this is flying. Eric's leaving some links to the website, the Indoctrination show videos. So please, you can find it there, guys. Thank you, Eric, for that and so much more. And Eric putting on some stuff for this weekend on the Sned channel, and also breaking down my monologue, which and a few other things as well. The seals, Todd, that he did when we did the decode on the seals.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty badass.
Yeah, you'll like tonight's then.
Yeah, I can't wait. Todd said we got a big boom tonight, guys, for the show. Do you want to start with that, or do you want to? Knowing what you know, I'll let you drive here.
Okay.
Let me just pull up this picture that you told me about Kamala.
Oh yeah.
And we'll get to that. And let's see what's going on here. There's a little bulge down there.
To me, and I looked down at her leg, and it just looked like I didn't see skinny jeans doing that. But I just don't know fashion that well, Dave.
Well, that's obvious, but that doesn't discredit you completely. All right, so
that's why I wouldn't be a good candidate to remember the Project Runway episode.
Yeah, exactly. So the one on her left foot, there's a little bulge there. There's a little thing, but it's nowhere near the size of the like that looks natural, like on the left one, right? Like there's a little, the cuff of her pant leg is catching and bulging out a little bit on the top of her shoes, right? This, however, is quite interesting. Quite interesting.
Yeah. I didn't think she was wearing hammer pants.
Exactly. I've met Hammer in those pants, by the way.
Did you used to have a pair?
No, I met him when he was wearing them.
Cool.
I saw a show at the Grand Ole Opry that he put on, and he was a fantastic show, by the way. and I got to meet him afterwards. That was when I was playing pro ball in Nashville, and I got to meet him afterwards. And he very nice guy. Kept us waiting a little too long for my appreciation, but nice guy, and put on a hell of a show. But those are not Hammer pants. I have seen Hammer in those pants. Those are not Hammer pants. So that dates us, Todd.
Those are camera pants.
Camera pants. Nicely played. Yes. I wonder, are these the ones that come with the camera toe? I don't.
Yeah, it's built in.
Built in, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't touch this. When I'm on a roll, you can't touch this.
No.
They call me Buddha.
You can't touch this. You can't. You wear the Hammer pants in your family. No question about it.
Only when Cindy's gone.
So, all right. So this is. So take me. All right. Take me. I'll hand you the wheel here, my friend.
All right. Since we already mentioned this, we might as well go to Dan Scavino. I'm just going to show you guys the demonstration of how relevant these Twitter deltas have been in these timestamps. So go to Dan Scavino, and I'll go as well. Even I've been there, I know what's up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play along. You know, you got to play along with me here.
We got to humor you.
Here we go. Okay, let's just go to the first one, Dave.
Okay.
Hold on. I got. Let's see.
Let's go to Dirty Dan Scavino.
Dirty Dan.
Dirty Dan.
Yeah, this wasn't. This was. This was yesterday, but we didn't have a show, so it still works.
Right. All right, so here's Dan, and I think I'm on the right one. This is the one with 1.1 million followers here, right?
Yes, that's him.
Okay, I'm going to take you guys off of me here, put you over there. And the first one is 23 hours ago, and it's showing 3 seconds. Hold on. Okay. That was fantastic, Todd. Wow.
Pretty cool little 3 seconds, huh?
Yeah. Why do you suppose that Dan would do that? And also, there's Cox. I can't really make out what this sign says, but yeah. Why would he do 3 seconds of just this? Right.
Oh, I think maybe he's just showing off some technology, some really cool stuff, that little toys that we have to play with thanks to Donald Trump.
Right. Yeah.
But maybe there's another reason, Dave. Maybe he just had to put that out there because he wanted to do a communication with us.
No, Todd, I think you're reaching. I think you're reaching. I think he just wanted to show 3 seconds of a jet flying by the screen for no apparent reason. What's that?
Even though it is super cool.
It is cool. And the one before that is pretty cool too. Should we show that before we go down this road?
Should we what?
Show the one right before that, the 15-second one before we go down this road?
No, we'll just stay with this one.
Okay. All right. So, timestamp was 23 hours ago, which would have been 11:30 p.m., November 29th, 2020. So, how interesting that we've got, I'm sorry, 10:30.
10:30, yes.
My bad, because mine says 7:30 because of the West Coast.
Yep.
But we've been down a 10:30 road before, so how interesting this time already. I will tell you, folks, that time we did a timestamp from on Saturday too, Todd. Or no, it was Friday.
Well, we didn't do 10:30.
Oh boy, 10:30. No, April 5th, 2018. Deadly Thunderbirds crash marks fourth military aircraft incident this week. CBS Evening News. Coincidence or silent war?
We were having all those accidents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we already know that 80% of those accidents probably aren't accidents.
Right.
So,
along with commercial airlines crashes as well.
Yep. All of the above.
Used to take people out.
Yep. But below that, Dave, it says coincidence or silent war.
Yep.
Pray. Night 2/17.
Yep.
So what was that 3-second video about, Dave?
Yep. Well, basically, we are in a war that is not being broadcast right now.
Yeah, and that was one of our most high-tech planes. And then the first thing he points us to is Deadly Thunderbirds crash.
Yeah. Yep.
2 airplane references. So I think that's like one of those, he's confirming that if you're doing this, you're in the right area.
Yep, absolutely. He's communicating to you and me. And
now, the second plane video that you were referring to,
yes,
I didn't really get a lot out of that. So, I don't know if they're not hitting on all cylinders every time. But they're hitting at a high rate. So that comes out to
let me show this. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he does hit at a high rate here. I forgot.
Now,
isn't that incredible?
That's amazing. Now, was that what it looks like when they break the sound barrier?
That's what I was wondering, but it happens so often. I'm thinking it might just be, hitting condensation off the wings or something.
Yeah.
As he goes through areas that have more humidity,
right? Maybe
that, pops up like a little cloud.
Yeah. If you guys know, please let us know. This one was 1027. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, shall we go to 1027?
That's what I'd do, Dave.
And humor Todd?
Yeah, let's just see if he's saying anything significant.
Okay. April 4th, 2018. POTUS will be up all night. Pray. Watch the news tomorrow. Wow.
Yeah. They're busy.
The second pray. They're busy. Folks, I mean, look at the stuff that's going down here with everything that's happening, Todd. I mean, this is unbelievable. Everything we're seeing right now. Okay? And they're communicating to us. Do you understand that, folks? This isn't like, oh, we're lucky. It just so happens that they're going to these. You guys know us well enough that we're not taking you down wild goose chases here. All right, this is this is the real deal.
And I didn't really dig into all the other timestamps on that one, but I did on the future one, and that's the one that's important. But we'll just go ahead and just humor me one more time.
Okay.
And this was a day ago, and it's the video of Air Force One or Marine One. I'm sorry.
Marine One over Great Falls Park.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where somebody had a great fall.
Yep.
Hurt his leg. Now he's in a boot.
Yep. Here we go. I've been to Great Falls. It's pretty awesome. It's very close to the CIA. It's in Virginia. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really neat looking. I've never been there.
Yeah. So that's your Great Falls, folks. That's Dan Scavino's tweet from November 29th, yesterday, at 4:20 p.m.
And do you know where that's located, Dave? What the street address is?
The street address of Great Falls Park?
Yes.
I don't.
It's on Old Dominion Drive.
Yes, old. Oh my God! Wow.
Do you think he's saying something?
Wow.
He's put Biden together with the Great Lake Park and Old Dominion Drive. Huh. Coincidence?
Wow. 9200 Old Dominion Drive, McLean, Virginia, which is where I used to live. I was just talking about McLean a couple nights ago. Wow.
It's
Wow.
pretty good comms, man. I'm telling you.
Amazing. Amazing.
The linkage is great.
And I just want to show everybody. Let's see. Just trying to find. Okay, here we go. Great Falls Park. Joe Biden falls playing with his dog. And what's the address? Pepe's Army of Frogs says Great Falls Park. Joe Biden falls playing with his dog. What's the address of Great Falls Park? 9200 Old Dominion Road. Beautiful. Yes. Wow.
So if you need a little bit of confirmation, they're talking to us through these
Yep.
stupid things that I do. I hope that helps a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Any more timestamps you want to go down?
Yeah. Not on Dano though.
Like
Dano,
45.
yeah, we could try it. Humor me, Dave.
Okay. We're taking the hold on, let me transition over here. We're taking the we like to do mirrored numbers. And we'll do the 45 on 1027. And
I'd say that's a hit.
humanity is good, but when we let our guard down, we allow darkness to infiltrate and destroy. Like past battles fought, we now face our greatest battle at present, a battle to save our republic, our way of life. And what we decide, each of us now will decide our future. Will we be a free nation under God, or will we cede our freedom, rights, and liberty to the enemy? We all have a choice to make. Evil, darkness, has never been so exposed to light. They can no longer hide in the shadows. Our system of government has been infiltrated by corrupt and sinister elements. Democracy was almost lost forever. Think HRC install, 2+ Supreme Court justices, 200+ judges, rogue elements expanded inside DOJ, FBI, CIA, NSA, White House, State Department, removal of the Second Amendment, border, etc., America for sale, China, Russia, Iran, Syria, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda expansion, surveillance of domestic citizens, modify, change voter rules and regulations, allow illegals, plus ballot harvesting with Supreme Court-backed liberal social opinion, sell-off of military to highest bidder to fight international long-standing wars. Their thirst for a one-world order, destruction of national sovereignty, serves to obtain control over America and her allies. think EU, European Union, by diluting your vote to oblivion and installing a new one world ruling party. The start of this concept began with organizations such as World Health Organization, World Trade Organization, United Nations, ICC, NATO, etc., all meant to weaken the United States. Also, the formation of EU through threat, con of close proximity attack, attack on one is an attack on all, sales pitch to general public, fear control. Regarding EU, did each member nation cede sovereignty to Brussels? Regarding EU, each member must implement EU rules and regulations in all areas. Think immigration, currency, overall control. Their thirst to remove your ability to defend yourself serves to prevent an uprising to challenge their control. There is a fundamental reason why our enemies dare not attack, invade our borders, armed citizenry. If America falls, so does the world. If America falls, darkness will soon follow. Only when we stand together, only when we are united, can we defeat this highly entrenched dark enemy. Their power and control relies heavily on an uneducated population, a population that trusts without individual thought, a population that obeys without challenge, a population that remains outside of free thought and instead remains isolated, living in fear inside of the closed loop echo chamber of the controlled mainstream media. This is not about politics. This is about preserving our way of life and protecting the generations that follow. We are living in biblical times. Children of light versus children of darkness, united against the invisible enemy of all humanity. 17. That,
You think
Todd,
that was significant?
Todd, how I would say this may just be my favorite drop of all of the almost 5,000 drops done by the Q team. 45-45. Donald Trump.
Yep.
Meaning
Double Trump.
twice. Okay? 45-45. Twice. That Scavino's talking to us, Todd, no question about it. I mean, everything there is so spot on. They were taking over our country. They had sold our country. This is what these things, the HRC, the stuff that I've been talking about for years, for over a decade, of how they're chipping away at our liberties, they're chipping away at our country, they're chipping away at our sovereignty, that Bill Cooper has been talking about, that David Icke has been talking about, that Alex Jones has been talking about, whether he's controlled op or not. He's been talking about it and woke up a lot of people, that so many people have been talking about. Jordan Peterson, Jordan Maxwell. Maxwell was the one I was thinking of, actually. So many great minds have been warning us about what's really, really behind the curtain here. And we are now exposing it all. And we never would have done it. They never would have been able to do it without you and I. Without us engaging in this process, engaging in the flow of information, this wasn't possible. They needed the world to awaken at a level that was enough to make this work. And that's what they're doing. Todd, that was awesome.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
That's how it goes. You know, sometimes you get the first message that confirms you're on the right track, and then you have to dig for the second and the third.
Wow. Yeah, really amazing. You know, I mean, there's so many things going on, right? There's this obelisk that popped up, right, in Utah.
Oh, yeah.
That now just popped up in Romania, by the way. Okay. This was, when was this? Kellyanne dropped this. Yeah, the identical ones. One showed up just today on in Europe of this monolith. And very recently, I don't know when Flotus wore this dress, but it's an occult alchemy symbol. We're witnessing the fall of the cabal. The timing of the monolith recently times up perfectly with her artwork, which is this, you know, she's wearing a monolith on her dress. And it shows a destroyed monolith, like something going through it. That was from Christy Summers that Kellyanne is sharing.
Wasn't there another picture, Dave, where there was a didn't she put some artwork in? Was it in the Rose Garden when she remodeled it?
Yeah,
where it tipped over. It looked like a destroyed monolith.
Yep. Yeah, I just showed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think there's any communications there? Just like the blockchain dress she wore.
Yep. We showed
and the kids dress, the artwork of the kids.
Yep. Saving the children. Saving the children.
Yeah, the 4th of July, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was, yeah. And then the, I think the green dress, she wore the green dress for...
Oh, that was the Republican National Convention.
Yes. Yep. Dress. I'm looking
Not that I fashion, Dave, but I remember those.
Yeah. Yeah, this is there's a lot of images. This was the green dress she wore with the red belt, like Pepe, and also, you know, green. This is, I don't know why they're showing me, I'm saying Flotus, and they're showing me Michelle Obama.
Well, because that's the only one that ever had pictures taken of her.
Exactly, right? She was on the cover of fashion magazines. Meanwhile, we have a beautiful model as Flotus, and they can't get her on one magazine cover. Why? It just goes to show you the unbelievable unbelievable bias of the media, folks. No question about that.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's really really interesting. Do you remember when she had it on in the Rose Garden?
Which one?
The one with the obelisk.
No, I just remember the work. I don't remember her.
Okay.
Her wearing the dress there.
Do you guys remember? Let me get to the chats here. Let's see how you guys are doing here.
Yeah, our Snedheads will know, that's for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Rainbow, yeah, the headaches. I was getting headaches this weekend too, as part of my detox or whatever's going on. But I think we're going from carbon to crystalline, by the way. Rainbow, will you drop your page down that has all those beautiful images and the uplifting images? I'd love for the Snedheads to go and like Rainbow's page that she puts up these beautiful pictures. And also check out her story time. That's pretty sweet.
I did. That was great.
Yeah.
I like Rainbow stuff. It's uplifting.
Yeah. I know you were going to take that down, Rainbow, but if you wouldn't mind, maybe keep it up for some of the Snedheads. If we go over there and like that, that would be pretty cool.
Story time with Rainbow.
What's that?
Story time with Rainbow.
Yeah. We need to lift our energy, our frequency, folks, because this is what's happening. We're going from carbon to crystalline. Okay, go to my messenger. Didn't she wear that dress the last night of his campaign? Sally, was that the obelisk one? Let me see. Cool. Yeah, Rainbow, what's the name? You're welcome. What's the name of that site? Yeah, so Deanne was dropping, let's talk about, since we were talking about Michael as FLOTUS, let's talk about, there's some Canadians saying that Obama's been arrested, okay? But
yep.
But before we get really into that, and let me, this is a gentleman, he's got 60,000 views, Michael Jaco. Let's listen to him for a moment.
Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So we have been talking for quite some time about arrest. So who would be like the biggest arrest that could happen? Who would you think that would be? Obama? So it's just been revealed that Obama, and you're hearing it here, and you can spread it like crazy, Obama has been arrested. All right, so let's look at that real quick. I'll share the screen with you and show you the news source. Right here, Conservative Beaver, basically a Canadian information news source. And the reason why you're going to see it on Canadian, and also I've heard it's also been released on Spanish papers. So the reason why is because there's been a news block on revealing this. That's by a judge, right? So, of course, the deep state media would go all out to, basically, suppress this. But like I said last night on my show with Jay, that I saw this week as being a reveal week for arrest. So here it is. Former President Barack Obama arrested for espionage. Barack Obama, a former president of the United States, was arrested on November 28th, 2020, on a charge that he conspired with a business partner of his who was also a former CIA officer to communicate classified information up to the top secret level to intelligence officials of the People's Republic of China. The criminal complaint containing the charge.
So, just wanted to stop that there because this is the one that Todd shared with me earlier today, which is basically the Conservative Beaver. And Todd, this is conspiracy with the CCP. I also want to get you guys a better quality copy here because I had it pulled up already so that you can see this. But the only source we have so far is the Conservative Beaver. And I don't know enough about them to know how reliable they are. But there's definitely some details here that it came out of Honolulu, but we don't have any other confirmation. Todd,
Well,
what are your thoughts on this?
If you listen to the whole clip, he talks about and names the actual agents in charge of the arrest, and they both were spot on. So that gives it more credibility. But of course, if you were looking to spread something that wasn't true and you wanted to make it look true, you could also do the reverse of that and find the agents who would be in charge and then incorporate them into the story. But, you know, I look at all this stuff and I take it, and you know what would be more shocking to me, that he was arrested yesterday than it would have been if they said, well, later on that he was arrested a long time ago. That would have made more sense to me.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean that it would be more shocking that it's taken this long to arrest him, considering the fact that he's been a shallow fake in my mind.
Yeah.
Every time we've seen him. And then you have the Oprah green screen, interview that basically, confirms the ability to fool you.
Right. Which we showed you guys. I mean, he talks about Cindy.
I was just going to say, I created a group in Messenger for our Canadian SNEDs, as well as Christy Nance Taylor and a few other great researchers.
Awesome.
And trying to figure out on the source, because obviously just by the name, one would think, yeah, right, whatever. But you never know. But they likewise have not heard anything over in Canada. Reuters is saying that it's no. Of course, we all know if Reuters says no, it's probably yes.
Right.
But I do have that group, so at least we can try and get input from them if the media is black in the United States. So
awesome. Great idea by trying to get some Canadians on board. And also, from my understanding, it can be any source outside the U.S. But the question here is, there are some specifics, right? It was Assistant Attorney General for National Security John Demers, U.S. Attorney for District of Hawaii Kenji M. Price, Assistant Director of the FBI's Counterintelligence Division Alan Kohler Jr., and a special agent in charge of the FBI's Honolulu field office, Eli S. Miranda, made the announcement. So where did they make the announcement? The judge has imposed a media blackout, but Canadian outlets like Conservative Beaver are not subject to those rules. Other Canadian and Spanish language outlets have already reported on this development. Now, what you're about to hear is true, which is why we would not be surprised if this were absolutely true, that Barack Obama was arrested for treason. The trail of Chinese espionage is long and sadly strewn with former American intelligence officers who betrayed their colleagues, their country, and its liberal democratic values to support an authoritarian communist regime, said Assistant Attorney General for National Security John Demers. This betrayal is never worth it, whether immediately or many years after they thought they got away with it. We will find these traitors and we will bring them to justice. To the Chinese intelligence services, these individuals are expendable. To us, they are sad but urgent reminders of the need to stay vigilant. The charges announced today are a sobering reminder to our communities in Hawaii of the constant threat posed by those who seek to jeopardize our nation's security through acts of espionage, said U.S. Attorney Price. Of particular concern are the criminal acts of those who served in our nation's intelligence community, but then choose to betray their former colleagues in the nation at large by divulging classified national defense information to China. My office will continue to tenaciously pursue espionage charges. And if I search this quote, yeah, It doesn't come up with anything else. So folks, I think that he is the first arrest. I've mentioned that multiple times. Todd, I think you've been saying Hillary, right? Am I right about that?
For what?
Or
Shocking
Biden?
arrest?
Yeah, the shocking arrest.
I was actually going Pence because I want to be really
Oh,
shocking.
that's right. We talked about that, right? Pence, because of the way that he'd be taking down his own. There'd be no question about it.
Take politics out of it.
Right. It takes it right out of it. But I really do think that it's going to be so clear that these people have committed these crimes, that including their own testimony, their own confession,
Right.
that I think it's not going to play into the politics at all.
Yeah, there won't be any ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah. Did he say anything outside of the guys that I quoted, Demers and all those guys? The guy?
No, not really.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
He did give it a lot more credence, though. I mean, he's reporting it as fact.
Yeah.
But he does throw in, if this turns out not to be true, that he would, retract it. But he thinks it's right along the same lines of what he believes in, just like, well,
Yeah.
we believe that I believe it's already happened, but they're just going to reveal it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
think all these people walking around makes no sense. If you look
Right.
at the arrest of Hillary, her video, I think that's when she was taken down, and I think that when Mike and Obama came bouncing out of their flat that one day and jumped into that obscure vehicle with the escorts of others, I think that was their takedown too. So I think they've already been taken down.
Right. Yep, we talked about that.
So that's where I stand, and nothing's factual. It's just my opinion.
Right. I think, I really do think that I don't know how we're going to learn about this, right?
Right.
And I think that's huge, right?
I think it'll come out long after we find out that they're arrested and what they did.
Right. Exactly. I think that, let's say, for example, if this is true, which I don't have a feeling it is, by the way, but if this is true, and by the way, Snedheads, you can look up Demers, you can look up these guys, you can look up if this was done in Hawaii, look up the U.S. Attorney's Office, Assistant Attorney for National Security, John Demers, and see what he's up to, right? And see if there's anything that he's actually come out and said publicly.
Well, I had a good talk with Cindy about it today, and we kind of looked at each other like that could be it. What a better way to get people ready for the arrest than to have it leak out a couple times, maybe multiple times.
Right.
And then so this word will spread fast. Obviously it is. And a lot of people are going to find out about it that didn't know what we know.
Right.
By seeing this, they're going to go, oh, whoa, is that true? And so it's predictive programming, if nothing else.
Yeah. Let's look. Let's go down Kelly Ann's Facebook post here, and which was supported by Chris Rotundo. and just a couple of pictures that we want to look at, and just to kind of wrap our heads around what's going on.
Hold on.
What's
Hold
that?
on a sec, Dave. I did send you that picture of the monolith in the rose garden. If you didn't, I think you took. I think Sherry Upton sent it to me again and said he thought that, or she thought that you were taking the dress as the monolith. Did you see the actual artwork? The monolith that's knocked over at Rose Garden?
No, I have not seen that. Thank you, Sherry.
I
let me see.
jumped too far ahead to, forget about the monolith, but the Rose Garden monolith.
Oh, so this is actually in the Rose Garden, tipped over like this.
Yes, that's the way it was built.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing much of it. It's just like a small part of it, but let me show you guys what I'm looking at here. This was what I was looking at, Crystal Summers, but I'm not seeing the full of this. But let me go to Twitter and see if we can find Crystal. Let me see if we can find her and then pull up her actual. Might not be at her. Let me see. No. Am I doing the right spelling here? Krystle. Krystle. No, I wasn't. TLE. Let's see. I'm not finding. Here we go. I'm not finding her in the category of what we're looking for here. But I wanted to see if we can find that whole picture. But anyway, thanks for sending that, Sherry. So this is what's really interesting, Todd and Snedheads. This is the people that are talking about this. I listened to General Flynn this weekend, General McInerney, the talking about the crimes that these people have committed, and now you have Lynn Wood, talking about these things. You have Sidney Powell, really, really top people. It's not just David Snedeker and Todd Gediminsky and Cindy Johnson and Kellyanne talking about this stuff. These are top level lawyers, top level government, top level military that are talking about these things. Lynn Wood, homework assignment for patriots. Learn how color revolution works. Learn about George Soros's reset and New World Order. Learn about Bill Gates' depopulation goal. How long have I been talking to you guys about Soros and Gates? And learn about Abraham Lincoln's exercise of power in 1861 to save our country. I told you about that, how he locked up the assembly, the Maryland Assembly, to keep them from voting to secede from the Union, which would have devastated the Union for during the Civil War. Major patriot Cindy McCain, just like her husband did, is wearing a medical boot in the photos below. She is now under consideration by Biden for an ambassador assignment in his so-called administration. Joe Biden just twisted his ankle. There are no coincidences. Let's see. I can't pull this up. Let me see. Let me make that bigger. There. I think we got some close-ups of this, actually. So there's Cindy McCain in a boot, okay? And let's go. Yeah, we got it on the next one, I think. Here's John McCain in a boot. He had two of them, and there's Hillary in a boot, okay? Now, some of these boot pictures were taken over a course of time. This is, we're watching the systematic destruction of the old guard. These are drops. You're watching it. The world is watching. So these are tips on how we're already in this movie. We're already enjoying this movie. And we've been in it for a long time. And here's a bunch of shots of, actors and politicians in these boots. Now, this has been taken over years, so I've never put much credibility in it, but it's definitely an option for being able to disguise an arrest bracelet, basically, right? And then, of course, Biden twists his ankle. Biden team not allowing pool reporters to see Joe Biden go in or leave the doctor. Repeated requests were denied. What's up with that? That's straight from Whiplash and Disclosed TV. Vincent Fusca, China Joe just flipped. Okay. And No Name was offered an honorable funeral, the likes of, we're talking about John McCain, by the way, of which most presidents don't receive in exchange for singing like a bird. He had previously worn an ankle boot on both legs. China Joe just flipped. It's all over but the concession. And there's a close-up of Cindy McCain in her boot. And here is Joe Biden. Let me see. Just talking about his socks. I didn't see his socks here. But 4:54 at 11:23, Jennifer Epstein tweeted, I don't know the significance, 11:23:20, because that's not going to be a timestamp from her. 11:29, 3:55, hurt his ankle. Oh, he's got the dog. Okay. So what they're saying here, Todd, is here he's got these dog socks on, right?
Yeah, the dog.
And then he's got the dog injury with these dogs, behind him. Interesting.
Yeah. Gosh, it's been probably 8 months ago where we went through the dog comms.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody was talking about how when they're talking about their dogs, they're referencing other hidden meanings.
Yeah. I forget when that was.
That was a while back. One of them was a fire, I believe, that a dog was involved in, where it was a heroic dog, and it was one of those wake up the family things.
Right.
And that ended up, it was dissected by the Anons as a dog comm. Something to do with drug running or could have been arms. But yeah, it was all dog comms. Even the responses were dog comms back from people that said, oh yeah, my dog did this, and it was all, that's how they were communicating.
Yep. Here he is sniffing his boot. There you go. Boot sniffer.
Yeah, there's a later decode that I'll get into the sniffing part.
Nice.
This will brighten your day too, because actually it's from a Biden tweet.
Yeah.
They've taken Biden's account over too, so
all right.
That should make you feel better.
You want to go there now?
No, I really let's go to POTUS.
Awesome.
See, I put a lot more credence into POTUS, but you can see where Scavino is a trusted source,
yep.
And he's definitely communicating. Melania is communicating. Don Jr.
Yeah.
I don't know how far it's going, but yeah, they're all pretty much, they get in on it too.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So we're at POTUS. Which one you want to go to?
Let's see. It's his last tweet was what?
He
3 hours
retweeted
ago.
2 hours ago the Bradford file.
I've got one. Arizona hearings on live now. That's the one I did. The 549, which would be 649.
Yep. Arizona hearings on live right now on OAN. Such total corruption. So sad for our country. 349, 649. So we'll go to the Q alerts. Q has been dark for 18 days.
Yep. They're busy.
Yes. 639, January 27th, 2018. Learn some. Is that the one?
649.
649, I'm sorry.
Yep.
That may be a good one. That's the abolish slavery, 13th Amendment, Republican support, 100%, 23% Democrat support. Right to vote for all, 100% Republican, 0 Democrat. Citizenship to free slaves, 94 Republican, 0 Democrat. Obamacare, 0 Republican, 86% Republicans. Do you trust your black leaders? How much are they worth? Reconcile. So that's what that took us to, that little mistake. Took us to Obama as well.
In fact, I did another thing over the weekend since I had a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit a timestamp, like say in this instance, we're on 649,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have other references in the 600s, which ended up happening in this.
Right.
You actually find that they're all relevant and that you have more than you know. Sometimes where they send you is just a starting point. You need to go on each side of the tweet of the reference.
Right. Right.
Decode, and it really paints a picture for you.
Awesome. So we'll go to 649. Timing is everything. Did you miss the most important line of the entire speech? Activation code. I heard a reference to federal employees who commit crimes. Was listening for so many coded messages. Great speech. Love the part about the Capitol Dome. Exclamation mark. Q. And that, by the way, the Capitol Dome was an anon replying to 17.
Yes, and the speech that they're referring to is the State of the Union address in 2018 on January 30th.
Uh-huh.
And I was going to try to watch the whole thing to decode that speech before we went on, but I didn't have enough time.
Slacker.
It's an hour and 9 minutes long, or hour and 16 minutes, I think. But they referenced that speech.
And love the part about the Capitol Dome. Okay. Federal employees who commit crimes. Capitol Dome. So it sounds like he's talking about Congress committing crimes. And but I also want to do this. I want to go into Gematria and just pull up Capitol Dome, see if anything pops. Code to find Jewish is code to find God. Fire Dragon. Music. I Pet Goat, which is the video I shared with you guys, which showed the So much evil, so
Oh,
much
yeah.
Satanism, right?
All the symbolism.
Yep. So much symbolism, right? Abortion, blood sacrifice. Blood sacrifice, folks, I've shared with you that I've shared with you the images of the Capitol dome and the, where is it? Show me, show me, show me. It's not up. Let me see. Here's the here's the U.S. Capitol, and this is the outline of the parks surrounding the U.S. Capitol, and it's in the shape of an owl. That is not by mistake. That is not a coincidence. That is not anything other than satanic symbolism, because every decision that is made under the Capitol dome is a sacrifice to the owl, symbolic of the demonic god Moloch, which is the sacrificial god. They sacrifice children and humans to the owl, to Moloch, that we see at the Bohemian Grove. And so to see the Capitol dome, okay, in that speech, in that drop, that 17 just did an exclamation mark on, and we see I Pet Goat, and we know that the symbolism in there, the abortion, we know that abortions are sacrifices to Moloch as well, because the abortion bill that they pass on Capitol Hill is a sacrifice to the satanic deity. Every abortion that is committed is a sacrifice to their satanic god. Okay. And I want to show you here, and let me show you here. Hi. And what you doing? Yeah. So let me see here. So this is, now's not a good time, sweetheart. Thank you. Yeah. This is child sacrifice in 1515 at a Mexican pyramid. Okay, and here's the Planned Parenthood home offices. Okay, the symbolism will be their downfall. And the thing that allows federal funding for the abortions that happen at Planned Parenthood, okay, comes from Congress right here, the Capitol Dome, in the heart of the owl, the Moloch. And so for 17 to give an exclamation mark here, after loved the part about the Capitol Dome, okay, and federal employees who commit crimes, and Q does an exclamation point, that means we're on to something, and we do the gematria for that, and we come up with pet goat, abortion, blood sacrifice, Boston, red shoes. We've talked about the red shoes and how they make the red shoes out of the children that they have tortured and murdered and raped. Gang stalking, Christo, bulls. The bull is another symbol for Moloch, by the way, bull. Okay? Decode a beast code. Abomination or abomination. Christian, that's it. That's the good conquering evil. So you see many, many, many things that that are linked to this. Kobe Bryant, we believe that is a sacrifice. There's been much to do about Kobe Bryant and how that was a sacrifice. Apocalypse. Judas Hammer. Judas betrayed Christ. Michael Jordan, need a birth code. When God dies, God goes home. Kobe died so sad. Trumpet. We hear about the trumpets in Revelation. Kobe, Lakers dead. Basketball man. Black Game star. By the way, Kobe also had the Black Mamba was the reason why we believe he was murdered, because he had a Black Mamba energy drink, and the Black Mamba energy drink had gone up against was being tried in court for a violation of copyright, because Kobe had Black Mamba before they did, and so they were suing. Kobe was suing this company, and it was going to be for a hell of a lot of money, and it was an actual pharmaceutical company that they were suing. Okay, and there's some symbolism in this Black Mamba logo. The serpent, obviously. The logo looks somewhat like the Baphomet, the face of Baphomet, right? We'll go to some images of that. See, it's all tied together, and the reason why it's all tied together, folks, is because the top at every entity. Look at Baphomet's face, right? Look at the shape, okay? And then look at the shape of the Black Mamba, right? You might think it's a stretch, but the more you look into this, the more you understand that there is significant symbolism between the serpent, this black, the darkness. There's a lot there that I hope that I was showing you that, folks. I apologize if I wasn't. But there's Baphomet, okay? Let me show you that again. You can see the shape, right? And of course the pentagram and the horns. Okay, the man, woman, beast, Solve Coagula. I forget what that means. Todd, do you remember what that means? And this is back to the child sacrifice.
About blood, right?
Yeah, it has to do with blood. I believe it is blood sacrifice, actually. The Solve Coagula. But I'll pull this up for you. Marilyn Manson has it comes from the Latin words dissolve and coagulate. The two words describing a process to break a substance down to its basic elements before reforming it. Is the action of all spiritual growth. It's alchemy. Spiritual growth and human evolution, but it's also obviously, encompassed by Baphomet. And also, by the way, you see these snakes around the staff. That's your medical symbol right there, folks. That's your modern day Western medicine. Okay. Yeah, so that's the kind of stuff that we're falling into here because of these decodes. That's a pretty good one, I think. That's a pretty good one. I think that's one of the best gematras we've done. Where else did you go from here, bud?
Well, I went to the timestamp of the timestamp. And the first one I went to was I mirrored it because those have been significant recently.
Yeah.
So I went to 316.
316 is here. Okay. 316.
316, the last 3 digits of post 649 timestamp.
Right.
That's the one that really hit the bullseye.
And let me take you there. And December 9th, 2017. What has been said about the U.S. military? The speech yesterday verified and unlocked so much. Expand your thinking. Reread crumbs. Re-listen to yesterday's speech. Connect the markers. News in all forms unlocks the map. Expand your thinking. The Great Awakening.
Dave, what did we just get out of 649?
Martial law starting the 11th. Interesting. Well, the speech, right? The speech on the last one.
That one was about the speech.
Yeah.
So then you go, and that was post 649. Then you go back to 316
based on the timestamp.
And they're talking about the speech
again. Yeah.
And so that's why I was figuring that we really needed to go and do the hour, which I didn't have time to do before. I did this decode about maybe 40 minutes before the show, so I didn't have time to watch the hour and 10-minute speech. But yes, you hit martial law starting the 11th.
Interesting.
So you're talking about 649 is a timestamp direct, and then you're talking about 316 talking about the speech. So you're in the right area. It's telling you yes.
It's telling you yes, you're in the right area.
Confirms.
Yep.
And it says news in all form unlocks the map. Expand your thinking.
Now go ahead.
So we have to, and this is a long post, and it'll repeat the same basic what has been said about the U.S. military part. That will repeat multiple times, but what changes is down in the black below where it says martial law starting the 11th, which I just said today. I thought it was going to be the 7th. I thought that last week, the week before, that it was going to be either blackout or martial law the 7th.
Yeah.
So then you have to keep following down. This is a really long one, but there's little bites in between.
Yeah. So keep going. Then it's, by the way, was there a speech on December 8th as well? Because they're saying the speech yesterday. Do you know if there was a speech on December 8th, 2017?
Well, I think since they went to the State of the Union in 2018 to refer to that one and then continued on, I would think they're talking about the same speech.
But it could be interesting if there was one there as well that we want to decode. So Snedheads, if you would, try to find a speech by POTUS on December 8th, 2017, and maybe we'll decode both.
Yeah, if there's one there, I'd say definitely.
Awesome.
But that either the first speech is referencing in all these drops,
right?
You know, the State of the Union in 2018, which makes sense because in 2018, he was also knew that he had problems with the election coming up, the 2020 election.
Right. Awesome.
So there might be something in there.
Yep, beautiful.
But instead of reading over and over and over what is said about the U.S. military part, what I did was I just kept going to the parts that were not included in that box.
I agree. Okay. So this is I like subject. So Q is saying I like the subject that they're on, right? Oh, wait a minute. This is an anon saying I like subject Q. Okay. And then Q responds with the same, but then
you miss justice above that when you go martial.
Oh, yeah. Shoot. Okay. Justice. Martial law starting the 11th. Then below that, justice at 128.04. And then below that, the same. Expand your thinking, the Great Awakening. I like subject Q. And then again, and then it says, yes, felt that speech was odd last night, but in a good way. POTUS, emphasis, and speech patterns. We need to go back and listen closely. He did emphasize words used by Q and POTUS's Twitter. Find Right Side Broadcasting Network on YouTube.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
We didn't talk about Right Side Broadcasting until just recently.
Yeah, this was this was 3 years ago. and by the way, this is an anon. I don't think this is Q.
Right.
So this is an anon because it doesn't end with Q or anonymous.
No.
Wow.
But it could be related.
Right. Right. U.S. military will be the strongest in the world. The speech yesterday was bomb as fuck. Re-listen to POTUS's speech. Re-listen to Pelosi's seizure. Interesting. And then, same, the Great Awakening, expand your thinking. Yes, I was struck by how that speech paralleled the themes you've been posting here. Looking at the map gives a good idea of the operations ahead.
Yep.
Wow.
See, I think they're helping us unlock the map in this post.
Wow. Yes. Yeah, this is big, Todd.
Yeah.
What was the USS codename for Hussein? R. It was Renegade. Define. They knew all along. Expand your thinking. Renegade. That was the answer to 17's question. Then they go back down. Connect the markers. Are these relevant? Tangent. Expand your thinking. Justice. Man.
Yeah.
Be the autists we know you are. It's about the break. Godspeed, Patriots.
References to pool. We were just talking about that. Any good pool player will tell you that the game is won or lost as soon as the break happens. A good break with the ball sitting in the right spot.
Yep.
Any good player will run the table.
Yep.
If you have a bad break, you don't win. But we know we had a good break because they've posted all that about the break, and we just did the decode last week.
Yeah. Wow. By the way, we're on Q alerts, folks. Sorry I haven't had that up for you. The proposed change to the Lord's Prayer is not the point. The point is that Q revealed that this was known a month before it was revealed publicly. Q wants us to understand that what is in the map is real, and this provides the evidence for it. The important point is justice. POTUS's speech used terms, by the way, these are all different Anons responding. That's why they have different numbers, folks. POTUS's speech used terms found in the map. More evidence that truth is being revealed. Q is legit and justice is being served. We need to assemble and spread the map now and demonstrate why it is true due to the news proofs contained within. Wow. Notice Q is in a different color, something to keep in mind for the future in case it's become something relevant like Monday in yesterday's posts. Somebody asked, Laura just asked, Dave and Todd, why don't you refer to the 17 clock? We do quite often, but we don't always. Todd, how would you answer that?
If I get enough information going the direction that I get, where it just, you'll see, because this doesn't stop with this drop, and you'll see that like David Reinhardt does such a good job breaking it down.
Yep.
I would rather just steal his work. Honestly,
yeah.
I don't see anybody else doing the timestamp and the timestamp reversals.
Yeah.
And following the timestamps on timestamps like I do or we do.
Yep.
I don't see anybody else doing this, Dave. So if you're interested in what the clock says, then I would say follow David Reinhardt. It's just a different way of going.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll see a lot of people that will reference different ways, but this is just kind of my way of doing it. And I found it successful because I get confirmations all the time.
Right.
Frankly, I don't have 6 hours to put into one drop either. It's a time thing. I can do this pretty fast.
I can tell you how we could do more of the, definitely two things. One is great question. We do this the clock sometimes. We do refer to David Reinhardt because he's so great at it, and because we're not full time on this. But one way you can, help us to do more things like that is you could donate to the broadcast, and we could go full time here, folks. See this down below. And also, by the way, if you were watching Fox or OAN or anybody else, you would have had about 50 commercials by now. And with us, you've had, I think, 2. And so I just want to put that out there, and also put out there that Stephanie may still be on with us, but we are also doing the Purium, and the Purium is, you guys are cranking it tonight. We had over 3,000 in sales of people going on and buying some of the Purium products that are changing people's lives and getting glyphosate out of their system. I mean, all the ailments that I'm hearing about being, cured by, not cured, but allowing the body to help get stronger is, it's pretty amazing when you start to really break it down. And then the CBD product is also phenomenal. And that is, the CBD is puriumcbd.com, and the code that you can put in for any of these products on purium.com and puriumcbd.com is Snedecation, capital S. Snedecation, like Snedecation Nation, Snedecation. And so you guys can support the broadcast by getting some incredible organic products and getting glyphosate out of your system once and for all. The poisons that they try to weaken us with. So Todd, justice His speech in Pensacola mentioned the U.S. military providing justice throughout the world. I hope that isn't just standard neocon justification to be the world's policeman. And then,
Isn't that awesome?
What's that?
I think that's awesome because, you know, we have an international audience and we have friends in
Yep.
on a lot of continents. So by winning our fight, we can help them win theirs.
Well, yeah. And how much have we talked about, you know, to all of our friends? This isn't just about the United States of America. This is worldwide.
Exactly.
This is the multiple first of all, the sealed indictments are worldwide. They're not just the United States of America. And these sealed indictments, they've already proven, they've already found the evidence. That's why they went to a judge and they had the indictment approved by a judge that they could go make an arrest. But they said, we're going to seal this because if we go make the arrest, that'll give a heads up to their partner to stop doing what they're doing, and we want them to continue to break the law so we can catch them doing it and prove to you that we're going to arrest them as well. So yeah.
And that's another double meaning for seal.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think it's up to 271,000 if I saw that right.
Is that right? I have not seen that recently.
Yeah, I ran across it over the weekend and I was like, whoa, that jumped up. And I think it may have been our friend Monkey Works or Kirsten W. I don't know. But it might have been on that broadcast where they showed it, and I was like, wow, that's really climbed.
Wow.
So you can see, Dave, you know, my thoughts on that are, hey, wouldn't it have been great, you know, if he could have gotten this over, you know, President Trump arrests 10,000 people, everybody goes, wow, that's a lot of people. Not if there's 1 million involved.
Right. Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
That's how deep this is. And 17's even referenced, you know, we didn't know it was this deep, basically.
Right.
So they're saying that as they expose more, that more is exposed. So that's a lot to do in 4 years, especially when you're being impeached and investigated and all the other hoaxes.
Yep. By the way, folks, I just wanted to say we may be at our largest audience, live audience. We get sometimes over 10, 20,000 on our rebroadcast. But this audience right now, we're up over 20, possibly 26,000, or 2,600. I'm sorry. And Todd, as we know, that's been and that's over 5 platforms. That's been you know, what do you call it when they don't show
Suppressed.
our real numbers? Suppressed, yeah. Because there have been times when we knew we had more on that you guys were responding to, and it showed, you know, just a handful. So welcome, David Snedeker here with the Indoctrination with Todd Gitominski on the line with us, breaking down the 17 drops and also the timestamps on those and how important this is, and also Cindy Johnson there at his side. How important this is, folks, that we get into this and really show you that they are communicating to us. When we say they, we're talking about POTUS, we're talking about the Q team, we're talking about Scavino, we're talking about Michael Flynn, now Lynn Wood, Sidney Powell, Melania Trump, Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr. We're getting comms from all of these people. We're getting comms from Ezra Cohen Watkins. And we're tracking these comms, but primarily Todd and I go by POTUS and 17. And by doing that and by being able to go down these paths, we are able to clarify that they are communicating to you and I. so that we can see what's going on. There is no other reason to make this public. We've used many times on this broadcast that if we've got a game and we've got to call a play to win on a last second shot, we call a timeout, we call a huddle, and we bring only the people into the huddle that are responsible and can make a difference in that particular game. Even though the fans are on our side, we don't invite them into the huddle. Even though the sportscasters are on our side, we don't invite them into the huddle. It's the coaches and the players and the managers who are taking care of the players, getting them water, getting them towels, helping them, a trainer helping one with an injury, maybe taping it, maybe icing it, and so that they can get back onto the court and carry out the strategy that they've just communicated. The scorekeeper is 10 feet away and knows nothing of what is taking place in that huddle or what's about to take place on that court. They go back out onto the court, and if the team is able to execute better than the team they're playing against, they will win that game. But only the people who are necessary in that victory are included in that huddle. Folks, we are in this huddle. And if we are in this huddle, which you are seeing that we are being communicated to through these comms, then that tells me that we are needed, we are necessary in carrying out this strategy. That's why we're here. That's why we're sharing this information. That's why we're communicating to you the way we are. The Q team they are communicating to you and me so that we can be a part of this strategy. We can be a part of the takedown of this cabal, which we are seeing happening right before our eyes. And it's happening, and it's ramping up, and it's getting more and more and more momentum. And we're starting to not just hear about guys like David Snedeker posting on Facebook 12 years ago about the corruption of the Clinton campaign, and the corruption of the Clinton Foundation, and the corruption of the politicians in Washington, and Gates, and the medical community, and all this. It's not just guys like us spouting this out. It's now some of the top military brass in the land, some of the top intelligence people, good patriot intelligence people, not the ones that we're getting rid of. We're getting rid of 14 people got off, the Kissingers, the Madeleine Albrights. We're getting rid of those people. The Haspels, we're getting rid of them. The Rays, we're getting rid of them. The people that are part of the problem, the Comeys, all the deep state are being swept away to make room for justice. We're hearing about justice in these comms, folks. And this is huge. We love our U.S. military. On behalf of an entire nation, thank you for your sacrifice and service. Timestamp. How many clues must we provide? What are we following, Todd?
Timestamps. That's why I do what I do.
And that's why we don't spend as much time on the clock. If we were on the clock, maybe we'd get paid. But we're off the clock. We're on the timestamp.
If this was my job, I would be utilizing everything. And I could cross-reference better.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any way actually of seeing when we were seeing multiple tweets that were the same, say Scavino did one and then Trump did one. I was lucky to catch that when I did, and then do the timestamp differential between the two that led to the 17 posts that led to more timestamps. You know, that's really highly developed, and those every time hit.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to do that all the time because I can't watch all the Twitter accounts. You know, I can't see everything at once. I can't see the whole board right now.
Right. Right. Now,
In the day, I'd have better information. Is what I'm saying.
now,
You know?
if we said, yeah, exactly. If we said 17 does timestamp, says timestamp here, and if we do the timestamp of this particular one, maybe we ought to go check that out.
Well, yeah, I did. You're going to have to. Yeah, we'll have to go back all the way to the original, and you always dissect the original, and then dissect the ones that hit off the original. That's how
Right.
I keep going, and that's how this can actually turn into a long process.
Right.
But
Exactly.
But I mean, if you're not worried about time, then that doesn't matter, right?
What's the? Did you go to 1545?
No, I went back to the original 649 post.
Oh, you mean this? So what I'm suggesting is that we show the timestamp on the one that's marked timestamp.
Yeah, I'm saying, but you're not done with the original one. That's
Okay.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
still,
yeah.
There's still meat on that bone.
Okay.
And
Okay.
You have to keep track, and that's what makes this more difficult as you go
Right.
deeper.
Right.
Is you have to keep track of the ones. Some will lead you down a path where it keeps going and hitting, and
Right.
you'll know because as you see here, it confirms.
So far we haven't hit a dud yet. So
No.
So back to 649. We're there now. We just went down 316, as you'll see here, guys. That's what we did. Just came from right there. Okay.
And I knew that was good because I already did it, so
Right.
that saved us time. I did the 613 also,
We also mirror,
and that's Yep.
the mirror, because 17 says think mirror. You see what happens to my computer here, folks? This is 613. There we go. 613, January 27, 2018. And we have a endusmilitarism.org, Church and Theology, resources, articles, essays, and links relating to church and theology. Oops, that page can't be found.
see, mine says something different, Dave.
What's yours say?
Mine says PDF military detention of U.S. citizens.
Oh, well, that's the look up the link here, guys. endusmilitarism.org, PDF military detention of U.S. citizens and 18 U.S.C. 401A PDF. Interesting.
Mine wouldn't pull up either because that's what they do to this board.
Right.
But just by subject matter, you know, even if I don't see it, I know what it means.
Right.
Military detention of U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Here's the U.S. Code 4001, and this is Cornell Law at EDU, and that's not giving it to me either. Here we go. No citizen shall be hold on. Okay. Control of prisons. Limitation on detention, control of prisons. No citizen shall be imprisoned or otherwise detained by the U.S. except pursuant to an act of Congress. B. 1. The control and management of federal penal and correctional institutions except military or naval institutions shall be vested in the Attorney General, who shall promulgate rules for the government thereof and appoint all necessary officers and employees in accordance with the Civil Service Laws, the Classification Act as amended, and the applicable regulations. The Attorney General may establish and conduct industries, farms, and other activities and classify the inmates and provide for their proper government, discipline, treatment, care, rehabilitation, and reformation. The Attorney General may establish and conduct industries, farms, and other activities and classify the inmates. Interesting. So that's what it's taken us to there. And prisons and prisoners.
Yeah, when we just talked about all the 271,000
Yep.
sealed indictments.
Yeah.
So this is a confirmation in my mind that, there's obviously been a lot of thought put into it, but it's confirmation
Yeah.
that, it's military detention of U.S. citizens. That's pretty,
Yeah. That's
that's
awesome.
right. That's right to the point, isn't it?
Yes. So,
And I think it's pointing the difference between what the Justice Department can do and what the military can do under these times of we're in war since September 14th, 2001.
Yeah.
And we have the act that President Trump signed in 2018, which also put us in a state of emergency.
Yeah.
So when you're in a state of war already, and then you're in a state of emergency, it doesn't get any more dire than this.
No. And it just frees up their ability to do what they need to do. No question about it.
Right. Well, that's what I tell people in casual conversation. They're like, "What does that mean?" And I said, "Well, imagine you're playing Super Mario Brothers, and Mario just ate the big mushroom. That's what Trump is right now.
Exactly.
He just ate the big mushroom. He's not going to die."
Sandra asked, "Do you think Quentin Coleman is one of 10?" No.
No.
Love Quentin, but he's not. There's there are pretty
nothing
much
nothing at all against Quentin.
Yeah, no. But we pretty much have a handle on who. We'd have to go back and do a broadcast on that. It was basically, we came close to that with, I think it was E, and it was talking about all those who had gotten COVID at one point. Didn't we track that? And we figured out that there were like 8, and then there was Scavino and Trump were left that weren't in the 8 that were mentioned. Do you remember that?
I don't know, because Trump is actually military.
Yeah.
And I don't know Scavino's background. I don't know if he a lot of these guys, even if they went to ROTC, they're considered military.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know, I don't know their backgrounds deep enough.
This is interesting. Rainbow says she's got mushrooms up next. So is he tripping?
He could be.
Yeah. Magic mushies. Michelle says, does the socks and Biden dog trip have anything to do with Mad Dog Maddox? Nice thinking, Michelle. Possibly, right? Yeah. Tomorrow, December 1st, guys, dang clock is ticking, Grace says. Well, here's the thing. Don't feel like we need to, there's not a deadline of December 14th. Because there's so much evidence of fraud that Rhonda just said Gina Haspel found dead of natural causes. Rhonda, is that? What's that?
I've heard that.
Who reported that, Rhonda? Do you know? Facebook just kicked Connie out. Sorry, Connie.
I've heard two different stories concerning her. I heard she was involved in the operation in Germany, and they didn't say which side she was on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because that was a CIA black site that they hit, just knowing what I know about where I think her loyalties lie,
yeah,
I would have to say that she was probably apprehended.
Yeah.
But if that story is true, now none of this is I can't confirm any of this. So just like the Obama thing, I can't put a lot of credence into it. But I take the information in, I store it, and I try to reuse that information if anything else connects it further.
Right.
But I heard she committed suicide, but made it look like it was natural causes. I've heard that she got injured and she was airlifted to Gitmo, where she's being questioned and turned, and named all the players involved, which wouldn't shock me either.
Right.
But I can't. There's no way I can confirm it.
Well, there's definitely, she has been trying to limit the D-class, and she's been trying to get in the way of that.
Right. Just Esper,
Yeah.
He didn't want to impose the Insurrection Act.
Yeah.
I think he was standing right in the way of them getting the servers in Germany, so that he was removed for that.
That who was removed?
Mark Esper was removed because he was standing in the way of the white hats taking over the black hat site.
Yep. Judy says that she heard 5 military men were killed during that operation in Germany, getting the servers. I've heard that there were some casualties as well.
Yeah, and then they blamed it on a helicopter crash in Somalia. I've heard that too, but I can't.
Yeah.
Again, there's no confirmation.
Jen Beck says 12/21/2020 is the one to watch. Jen, which we talk about here a lot, as you know. 12/21. Not only the executive order 12/21 that Trump passed that takes away the property and the finances of those who have committed acts against humanity of human trafficking, but also what's his name talked about it. I'm forgetting our buddy's name. 12/21.
Cappy?
Cappy, thank you.
Isaac Cappy?
Isaac Cappy.
Yeah.
And Jen says that's the actual date of 2012, according to the Gregorian calendar.
Yeah, I've heard the theory. The theory on that is that that goes back into the time travel theory in the Looking Glass, and that around 2000. Early 2000, the people involved in the Looking Glass project actually saw that they weren't able to see. It was all starting to blur out into the future what was going to happen,
right?
And that all possibilities were starting to melt into one, meaning that there was nothing they could do to change it, to change the timeline, and that timeline was to stop in 2012.
Right.
But what now along this theory was that somehow that was stretched through Looking Glass into 2020. That 8-year lag was caused by something in the string thread, the theory of quantum time and time travel, that actually changed that. That's why we're having the Great Awakening in 2020 instead of 2012. that the timeline, all of the timelines were merging. So, say if Hillary Clinton could have gone and changed it so that she actually won, it still wouldn't have mattered. We would have had the Great Awakening anyway. Nobody could change what was coming. That's what they say. That's why 17 drops keep saying nobody can stop what's coming, because they already used Looking Glass and they know.
Yes.
You can't change it.
Right. And the Mayans also talked about the 2012 being the end of time.
Right.
And
Well, that's kind of what they meant. End of the old age, beginning of the new. Not the end of the world necessarily.
Right. Right.
It was the end of the world as we know it.
Exactly.
Like the song.
Yeah.
Just like the song.
So one of the Snedheads, Elizabeth, says go read Code Monkey's tweet. So I jumped over to Code Monkey real quick.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah. Why doesn't Twitter let me send the link for Dominion ImageCast adjudication manual via direct message? Must be important. Download and backup locally ASAP. And you can find it on the Wayback Machine archived. Okay. Is that the one you're thinking of too, Todd, or is it another one? Because he's been having some bombs.
One. Cindy just said he was about ready to drop a Moab.
Yes, he said that in his previous tweet. It says currently loading up a proverbial Moab and about to drop it. Hold on, what happened?
As soon as he's done dotting his I's and crossing his T's, that's what I think that's the reference, right?
Yeah. He's been asking, here it is, loading up, damn it. I don't know what's going on here. This is crazy. Gotta close some stuff. Hopefully I'll have this. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Where did my Twitter go? Ah, shoot. I lost Code Monkey. Darn it.
Well, Vincent Kennedy was taken off Twitter, and he had been taking a break since the 24th, and I guess he must have come back and posted something because he was removed, but supposedly he's back on.
He was removed?
Yeah, he was suspended. As soon as I heard the news, I went to his account and it said that he was suspended.
Currently loading up a proverbial Moab, mother of all bombs, and about to drop it. Just need an hour or so to finish dotting my I's and crossing my T's so nobody can scrub data after I release this. And this was 7:46. So it's 8:40. So he said about an hour or so. So this is happening. So that he's probably going to do this while we're live. And the one I mentioned, well, the Dominion Watch hashtag for updates, live streams, and communication. He has asked everybody to communicate or live stream the Dominion storage facilities in Georgia to maintain constant live streams and people on the ground watching for about 10 days at 3 locations. I think I retweeted this earlier, but I'll do it again. And here's one right here. See, folks, we're on this. November 30th, 2020, Gwinnett Drive, Lawrenceville, Georgia. Any Snedheads in Georgia that want to jump on that, please let us know and get us some. We'll get you live streaming. We'll get you on the broadcast, and you can go find them, find out where they're located, and get some eyes on that.
Yeah, we need to definitely keep an eye on the monkey. And also, Cindy has some breaking news.
Awesome.
Actually, it's from Sherry Upton, Dave.
Awesome.
And I sent it to you
Messenger.
in Facebook Messenger.
Thank you.
It should be there. It's from 911 News. In France, the Paris Rothschild Bank is burning to the ground, apparently.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that tonight. I'm glad you reminded us, Sherry. Let's see. Hold on. What's going on? I lost it. Yeah, the Rothschild Bank, folks, is... well, I could just pull it up. Oh, here it is. Okay, thank you. So, yeah, I saw this earlier. So this is the Rothschild Bank. In Paris. People in Paris, people in UK, people in Germany. They're not playing, folks, okay? And by the way, these aren't Antifa, okay? These are real patriots. When I say patriots, I'm talking to patriots of their own country. But these are real patriots that are saying, we're not going to go into lockdown again. We're not going to be putting up with this shit of, by the way, folks, lockdown, the dumbest shit ever, okay? Just the dumbest shit ever. And as I said on Saturday, I welcome all this madness because it's allowing us to see who we're going to go into 2021 with and who we're not. We are exposing the ignorance and those who are completely indoctrinated. And it's important to know this. It's important to differentiate. Don't you want to know something about somebody before you go on a lifelong journey with them? That's what we're doing. We're weeding out the people that will, either continue on with their madness, be put in prison if they're in positions of control and leadership and have been committing crimes against humanity, or will tuck their tail between their legs and come and say, I was wrong. I was wrong to criticize those who were challenging the mainstream narrative, and forgive me. And you know what? We're going to forgive those people. But we're not going to forget. We're not going to forget who they were, how they treated us, and why, and who they decided to believe in. Because make no mistake about this. This isn't about, we believe differently, or we believe differently about who we should vote for. No. You're missing the point. If you think this is just another election, you've completely just detached yourself from anything other than the indoctrination. The indoctrination of mainstream media.
And also, Dave.
Go ahead, Cindy.
Go ahead.
Please.
No, go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead.
And just that, so now you have to understand that this is about the destruction of the people on this planet that are stealing, raping, harvesting organs of, and murdering children and innocent human beings. And it's an industry. It's an industry. And it's one of the largest industries on the planet. And the only way that they can get away with that industry is if they control the industries of transportation, the political, the legal, the other businesses that they need to make it happen, the Planned Parenthoods, the abortions that are a part of it, the border less so that they can transport, the banks which are laundering all of this money, and the media, who is the cover, who creates the cover story, who never talks about it, so you, if you are indoctrinated, never hear about it and never question it and never challenge it, and you go through your life like nothing is wrong. And you couldn't be more wrong in that assumption. And you don't have to take that from me. You can hear that. You can see that from the actual statistics of missing children worldwide. This is not another election. So the people that are either waking the hell up and seeing what the hell is really going on this planet and the level of human atrocities that are being committed against the most innocent of us, for those who are not awakening to that reality, you will be ashamed of yourself. How do I know that? Because I'm going to be ashamed of myself for being a part of a world that has allowed this for as long as I've been on this planet. I'm going to feel ashamed. So if I'm going to feel ashamed, and I've been trying to get this message out for years, the people that are still sleepwalking through the indoctrination of the mass media and the controlled paradigm, the controlled narrative, they are going to be very embarrassed and very disgusted that they allowed themselves to sleep for so long. This is not another election. This is not about Republican versus Democrat. This is biblical. This is so much bigger. This is the fight of our lives here. This is the fight of our lives, and this is the fight of our humanity on this earth. Because for the first time in our human history, we have a chance to change this paradigm, to shift this paradigm, and completely take control of this planet and turn it around and turn it into a whole other dimension that we can move forward into a new humanity. I'm still here, brother. I heard a little beeping myself, too. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, something going on with our connection there.
Yeah. So, anything to add to that, brother? And Cindy,
No,
I know you were piping in there as well.
This is absolutely what we were, that's what this is about. This is, what got me really going in the beginning of this. I've known a lot of things were wrong, but the discovery of the children, that was what motivated me from the beginning and just made me want to dig deeper and find everything.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it was corrupt, Dave. Everybody knew that they were taking money and skimping off the top. I didn't know about all the rest of this stuff, just how bad it was.
Yeah.
But now, once I knew that, I activated. And
You made up for lost time, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that's my goal, is to get all this information out I think if I didn't do this, I'd be doing a disservice to myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a couple things.
I mean, it's just, it's the most disgusting thing in the world that I could ever imagine, but it's also, a chance to save our planet, save humanity. I mean, it's that big, and we're a part of it. And there's no denying it. We have a job to do. And, there's no stopping me.
No.
I sometimes, in the past, I thought, well, maybe I should have gone anonymous. But, we put our names out there and our faces out there, and, I don't care anymore. It's worth it.
Yep. I just thought about going anonymous as well. And it just, the signers of the Declaration of Independence, their lives were in danger. And they could have signed it or not. And John Hancock couldn't have signed it any bigger. And to this day, when people say, put your John Hancock on there, why? Because John Hancock, when he signed, he made sure everybody knew that he signed. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that I've signed this. I don't want there to be any question, because I want everybody to understand how important it is to be on the right side of history here and actually do something about it. Either get engaged with the process, go to Georgia, go to the Dominion, find somebody that works at Dominion, get them to answer some questions, get them to talk about it. Support people like myself and Todd and Cindy and Kellyanne and that are putting this out there, that are getting this kind of information out there and fighting this information war. This is what we must engage in so that we can move forward and make it known that what's going on and how important this is. Cindy, you wanted to add something back there a few minutes ago.
Well, yeah, there's just a few things that have been breaking, and Sean Hickey had sent this Code
Sean.
Monkey that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That I sent to you. From them, and a couple other Sneds had given it to. I can't remember the name, so I'm sorry with a concussion. Anyway, the first one that I sent you is number 1 in your Facebook Messenger, and then the second one, it broke at the same time by Code Monkey. Basically, there's rumors that some of Sidney Powell's witnesses are now in ICU because of the Kraken lawsuit. And as he said, if there's no fraud, then why do they feel the need to rough up somebody or physically harm, a witness? All they did was submit an affidavit. So that is a rumor that's out there.
Well.
And then the other one is really strange. I'm not quite sure of. I want you to take a look at. It dropped at the same time. And it's basically a video of someone asking if anybody is at the Georgia election area.
Yeah. That's what I was just asking, because Code Monkey has been asking that for the past couple days.
Is the one that originally dropped it.
Who would you...
Sergeant Mal is the one that did it live. He was the one that was there.
Oh, okay.
And Code retweeted it.
Oh, okay. Sergeant
But the one
Mal.
about the ICU is what I thought was...
Yeah. What I'm seeing there is, first of all, these Rothbard 1776 is the one that Code Monkey retweeted, and let me read this to you all. Breaking: Sidney Powell, when questioned by Hannity about whether anyone has had the opportunity to forensically examine these Dominion machines, She said, my co-counsel from the Flynn case, Jay Banal, just won a discovery order from the court in Nevada. He has done a great job out there trying to get more information and got the discovery order entered today. So they will be collecting a lot more evidence from Nevada where there was massive corruption. Hannity also asked about individuals who were reported to be watching an internet connection in real time, but that can't speak publicly and haven't signed affidavits to that. Why? Sidney Powell responds that some are within the government and some are possibly in different roles that require confidentiality and aren't in a position to come forward unless there are protections in place. That's something that the government needs to give them if they want to get the truth of all the matters with which we're gathering more evidence every day. Then Sidney Powell drops a bomb and says that with regard to those afraid to come forward, they're going to lose their jobs. Their lives have been threatened. One witness we know of got beaten up and is in the hospital. There have been all kinds of repercussions against people who have come forward to tell the truth. And no, Democrats don't like whistleblowers. They only like liars who claim to be whistleblowers. Fact check, true. I am highly interested in what departments these government officials are in and who may be holding up offering them protection. Rotten. So why in the hell wouldn't these people be protected? Guaranteed protection from these people. That gets more to the line of my guy who was offering, if they're worried about losing their job, my guy was saying, give them a year's salary. Give them a year's salary so they don't have to worry about their job. And there's enough money out there that can do that. And if anybody, I know I asked you, but you may have tried to communicate to me, but please email me at davesned@gmail.com if you are savvy with LinkedIn or you can find some Dominion employees or you can go to the Georgia sites. Please let me know. Please let me know, and I'll drop my email here in the chat. And that could be key because I've got some people that want to put some money out there for people like this to come forward. So that is interesting. Thanks, Sean, for sharing that. And did I get to where we wanted to go there, Cindy? You mentioned that one, the Code Monkey. Where they're
and then sharing up.
The Paris. Oh, here it is. Okay. This is the from Sherry. This is the. I'm getting some feedback. This is Sergeant Mao. Sydney,
And then also,
I'm gonna go ahead and play this. What's that?
Sherry Upton also sent about Dr. Scott Alice resigned this evening as special advisor to Trump on the coronavirus.
Whoa. Okay. Good stuff. Let me show you guys this here. So this is what Code Monkey was asking for, was eyes on the Dominion voting offices in Gwinnett County. This is in Georgia. Public notice. I can't really read that, but it just goes to show you where he's at. Now, we ought to have eyes on the back door too, because that's where, if anything's coming in or out of there, that's where we want to be looking. Yeah. So this is the kind of thing we're looking for, right? Because if this is 24/7, round the clock, there's not going to be any monkey business here. And they're not going to be able to get away with this stuff. My guess is he's going around back now. Let me go forward a little bit. Yeah. So here's the back. There's a truck backed up to that, which is something we saw and heard about in the wee hours of the night of the election, where trucks were backing up, and supposedly some of the story was that they were bringing food because they didn't have enough food for all the workers. But one of the people that I saw interviewed, who talked about this, she said there's no way that van had enough food from the people that they were short of, because the van wasn't big enough to carry all the food for the people that needed it. So she knew that it wasn't food. She didn't actually see it unloaded, but she thought that because they made them get out of there, that was part of what they were doing, was bringing in ballots. But she didn't actually see it. But she was interviewed. I reached out to her on Facebook, and she said she'd come on and do an interview, and she was available Wednesday. So I went to call her Wednesday, and I went to communicate on Facebook. Her whole account had been deleted off Facebook. Her whole account had been deleted, and I couldn't message her. So yeah, we need patriots out there just hanging out, just watching this. Sound like there might be somebody else doing that too, which is kind of cool. And then looks like that's 414. Okay. And Cindy, you said that the story from Sherry.
Yes.
Is that
Dr. Atlas turned in his resignation letter this evening.
Interesting.
I sent you a link that she had sent.
And it looks like you accidentally unsent it, if that was the last one you sent.
No.
It says
Hold on,
Cindy Johnson unsent a message. So it looks
there
like
was one that... Yeah, hold on just a second.
Okay.
It's the one... Hold on.
I got a big one.
Go ahead, Todd. We don't need to see it if we heard about the resignation. 120-day contract for Atlas. Russell, what was that?
President Trump just tweeted at 10:37, so I went to 10:37.
Awesome. Let's go to wrong one.
Yeah, there's a couple of retweets in there that are like older somehow. You got to go down to.
Excuse me.
It'd be what, 7:37 your time.
Okay. He did say a judge in Nevada has ordered Clark County officials to allow an inspection of the elections equipment and sealed containers used in the 2020 election by 1 p.m. tomorrow. Beautiful. That's huge, folks. That's huge.
It's his only in America tweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a retweet of Steph.
Only in America. Got it, bud. Okay. 737, the Democrat Party has the brass balls to steal a presidential election for a candidate their voters don't even like. The Republicans are too wimpy to stop absolute theft of the presidency from a candidate 95% of their voters love. 7:37 p.m., which would be 10:37 on the Q map, Q Alerts app.
Yep.
People say, why don't you use the Q map? We use the Q app. We leave out the M. See if you can figure out why. And we're going to number
1037.
1037. Folks, hopefully after the Purim, a couple weeks on Purim, my mind will be a little clearer, and I won't forget the number in the matter of 5 seconds from the time I go from the tweet to here. 1037. Let me show this to you, folks. This is Booms and Route. Blind. 5 means over and out. Green, and then a bunch of numbers that looks like a code of some sort. Booms and Route. Blind. And then green. 5. This was 2018, April 6, 2018. What do you make of this, bud?
Well, I think there's something big about to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, Code Monkey said that he was going to drop a Moab. President Trump lead to this.
And by the way, go ahead.
There's a lot of stuff going on, Dave, that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, and by the way, I took those numbers and I did a DuckDuckGo search, and what came up was WikiLeaks Hillary Clinton email archive.
Oh yeah.
So let's go there, shall we?
How about Julian appears?
Yeah. And is pardoned. Draft of prayer breakfast from Hillary Clinton to Lisa Muscatine. Unclassified U.S. Department of State from H. Rod 17 at Clinton email. Sunday, January 31st, 2010. Huma Abedin to I Muscatine. I was out, but upon return did not find a fax speech. Can you track down? I've just asked the specials to fax the draft to you in Chappaqua. You should be getting it shortly. Hopefully this is a start. Feedback welcome, of course. To HCC Huma from Lisa Muscatine. See also U.S. diplomatic cable search. Not much here, folks, on this one. But green, we've heard often, where is Huma? And of course, HRC could be one of the big arrests. But that's green. 5, blind, we don't see it. We don't know what's going on. 1037, but Booms and Route. This is a tweet from our president on the timestamp that takes us to the 17 drop. 17 drop. Nice. This claim about election fraud is disputed. Whoa. Hold the presses, Todd.
Oh, are we doing something wrong, Dave?
Hold on, Todd. Hold on. Voter fraud of any kind is exceedingly rare in the U.S. Election experts confirm. Todd, dude, we're barking up the wrong tree here.
Yeah, we better shut it down.
Todd, it says experts and officials said there has been no evidence of widespread voter fraud in the 2020 U.S. elections. Snedheads, why haven't you dropped this for me? I got to find this out by accident. The election process was secure, and voter fraud of any type is incredibly rare. According to the Associated Press and Reuters, owned by the Rothschilds, who are actually going to be tried in a military tribunal and executed, most likely, for their crimes against humanity. So, wait a minute. So, I might have jumped the gun there, because if they're saying it, then this might not be true. Okay. I might have jumped the gun there, Snedheads. I might have jumped the gun. Okay. All right. Officials and experts warned ahead of Election Day that most interference in U.S. elections, whether from foreign or domestic players, comes in the form of misinformation campaigns, speaking of which, many of which are intended to create distrust in the U.S.'s electoral process. Photo by VOA News. Wow. This is really important information for nobody. There you go. But
well, I got a timestamp, Dave, off of that timestamp that leads to 2:16.
2:16. We're going right there, guys. See where the timestamp is at 2:16. We're going to go up there to that. Thanks for waiting for me to work that out, Todd. Make sure I wasn't in the wrong there. Yeah. November 23rd, 2017. Keyhole. Happy hunting.
I think the seals are activated.
Yep. Wow. Folks, Keyhole is the technology that allows our military and our government to read your license plate as you drive down the street. Keyhole gave their lesser technology to Google Earth that shows you pictures of not even your your license plate, but just your car and your house that was maybe taken 2 years ago. But if you literally went outside your house and started driving, they could see it in real time. So Keyhole is basically, President Trump has just told us, booms en route, 5-5 over and out, blind, okay, that we're not seeing it, and also the people that have it coming aren't seeing it. Keyhole, happy hunting. This is how they're going after him. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Wow. That's cool. Shall we continue?
Well, there was I was going back to that original one. There was another timestamp that we didn't do off my original timestamp that was 9:53.
Okay.
And it's
off 6:39.
It's off of the original was 6:49.
6:49, yeah.
Yeah.
So 9:53 was off of that.
Yeah, the first three digits of the timestamp, and then 53:16. 9:53 is what we want.
Okay, 9:53. Yep. Okay, that's where I'm at right now. March 17th, 2018. How bad is the corruption? FBI, past, present. Number one, number two, plus 29, parentheses 16.
So you got Comey, then you got Ray.
Yep.
Then you got whoever's in second command there.
McCabe.
Plus 29.
That's how bad the corruption is. What do you think the 16 is? Maybe past, present. So maybe 29 present or past, 16 present. I don't know.
Past, present, yeah. That's what it looks like.
All right, let's keep going. DOJ past, present. Number one, 2 plus 18. This is perfect. This is unbelievable, folks, because
Yep.
these are the people going down. So you got DOJ, you've got the Attorney General, you've got Holder, you've got Lynch. If they're going back that far, and number two, well, who would you have? Number two at DOJ. Snedheads, if you know that, let us know. Plus 18 in the DOJ, like high level, high level folks. Okay. Then you've got State Department, past and present. Okay, you've got Hillary Clinton, John Kerry, plus 41. Okay. Removal is the least of their problems. Removal is the least of their problems. Projection. Russia, Democrats, Dems, HRC. Twitter bots, Google operated not Russian narrative and political slant. Biden, China. Big development. Traders everywhere. America for sale. Flynn. Targeted. Why? Who knows where the bodies are buried? He does. Cleared of all charges. Trump admin version 2. Trump administration version 2 has Flynn in it, not being prosecuted, not being targeted. Election theft. Last hope. Congressional focus. Impeach. They think you are stupid. They think you will follow the stars. Hollywood. Think Hollywood. They openly call you sheep, cattle. There will come a time none of them will be able to walk down the street. Biggest fear, public awakening. Boom. Folks.
And that ties in with another drop we did where it said the same thing to finish up.
Yep.
Never walk down the street.
Yep.
Ha ha.
Todd, this was March 17th, 2018, folks. Do you think that this team has seen into the future?
Yeah, a lot of big stuff happening right now.
Okay, Code Monkey Moab dropped. Let's see.
He's trying to get two videos up. Twitter won't allow him, so he said that he was going to try and get him on YouTube. But in the meantime,
They're up.
he also said he said to be ready to back him up just in case they get down. He said
Okay, I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to back it up. I'm going to back it up right now on my 4K video downloader.
He also said he's sending to Gap, Neon at Gap, in case his Twitter gets sent down because it's big.
Okay. I've got, I'm downloading the first one. And here's the second one. Once I download them, then I'll play them for you from Twitter, and let's see how long they stay up. Okay. Here we go. First one's already been downloaded, so we got that.
Did you see Linwood?
And we got the second one. That's being downloaded now. Oh boy. Okay.
He said he's going to send the second one to Gab with Neon, Neon. I sent you that link.
Gab. Okay.
GAB.
The second one he said he was going to send?
Yeah, I sent you his tweet.
I've got both now. So let's watch the first and second. And I got to keep an eye out. There's a vegetation fire not far from me.
Yeah, you don't want to be a vegetable in the way of a vegetarian fire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, and in LA, we don't call them vegetation fires. We call them vegetarian fires. Exactly. All right, here, let me pull this up.
All right, I'm going to mute and listen to this.
Okay. It's short, but he's trying to check to see if this guy's badge is legit. And I'm going to take a screenshot of that. That's basically what it is. It's just 7 seconds. And he's trying to see if this badge is legit. This badge looks like a joke, by the way. It has like 3 lines of something, and I can't read that. Let's see if we can get a better picture of it. Yeah, I can't get anything out of it. Okay, let's go to the second one. Maybe the second one will have something on it. Okay. That's the first one. And here's the second one. This is 2 minutes long.
She's looking at her spreadsheet with notes, handing it to him. Did he? Yeah. Where are they going? The stick. Oh my god, is he taking it to that laptop? Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that Code Monkey's asking us to do, right? 24/7 watch on these cats.
Those look like files from a distance, but I can't really tell. You know, like a big file folder? File manager? Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Looks like large icons. Yeah. Which would be weird. Right? Nobody uses that for data. They use that for looking at pictures. Scanned images? Huh? Scanned images? Yeah, but I don't think you'd be transferring scanned images. You're right, I saw it. He's taking it back. What are you doing? What do you do with the stick? Doing the sound of it's just what he looks like to me. Took a notepad. Where are they going?
Okay. So that's the Moab. I don't know what's going on there in that situation, but
They're taking the file, they're changing out the thumb drives and switching up the results of the election.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones who said they didn't do that kind of thing
Yeah.
from a portable thumb drive. So that's what that guy's doing. He's importing all the information. So they're trying to switch them right now because they know they're going to get busted.
Yeah. Watch a Dominion representative at Gwinnett County Election Central responsible for tabulating ballots and certifying results download data to a USB from the election management server, plug into a laptop, manipulate the data, then palm the USB. He downloads data onto the USB, inserts it into the external laptop, manipulates ballot scans in the file explorer, ejects the USB, palms it, distracts the people nearby, then suspiciously walks out of the room. Not convinced he is a Dominion representative, let's take a close look at his badge. And that was one of two. So we got these videos, we got them backed up. I got to jump because I got to focus on dialing in everything we might need to vacate our home. It's far enough away it might be fine, but I've got to jump on. I got to jump into mode here. These were huge, man. These drops, the past, present, the DOJ. Everyone's going down, the bombs, everything we're seeing here, folks, is just off the charts.
It's highly active right now. I think it's going to be amazing what happens. There are going to be dangerous times because there's still nefarious characters out there, but, get through. I think we're going to see the end of it here soon.
The flight activity from Monkey Works. A lot of monkeys working right now, guys. A lot of monkeys. Yeah.
Well, brother, take care of your house.
Yeah, we'll do.
Take care of your family.
Hey.
Yeah, please say prayers for everybody, guys. Dear Lord, please watch over us all. Please watch over all those with the boots on the ground, all those that are risking their lives to try to make this planet a better place. Please watch over President Trump and his family, the Q team, the Anons, the autists, the digital warriors, the Snedheads, all the people that are having a difficult time right now. And please, Lord, watch over and strengthen all those involved in putting this evil to an end. We thank you for all that you have done for us. Thank you so much for our abundance. Thank you for our health. And in Jesus Christ's name we pray, thy will be done, God. Amen.
Amen, brother. And protect the King Schnedhead's house and castle.
Yes, yes. Please watch over us. Watch over us. Please contain that fire.
Love and light.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Todd. Great stuff tonight, guys. Love you all.
Thanks, brother. Love you, man.
All right. Well, I'll be in touch. I'll let you guys know on that what's going on, so that either I can post or maybe Cindy can post. But I'll post because you guys, it's late over there. So, but I'll let you guys know everything's safe. Okay. Love you all.
Bro.
All right. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night.